the RTSs have really grasped my attention, but I also just haven't had the time to play them. Like yeah, I haven't had time to touch and like what is it, Stormgate or No Space, Zero Space, Zero Year, that one. I haven't had time to play that. Battle Aces, the beta's out. I haven't touched it. So I will see how they go. As for now, we're diving into the grand finals and sport. We're finally here, and before we introduce our players, predictions. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think is going to be our champion this week. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Clem or Rogue, Zerg or Terran? Up to you to decide. As predictions are open for the next couple of minutes. Predictions open. There we go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Side Delta, we have our French Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. So yeah, the next season of EPT is gonna look a little bit wonky, like year-wise. To like start the season of EPT like at the end of a year instead of the start of a year, it's gonna be a bit weird, but we'll acclimate. We'll acclimate as we are opening up 2-Rax Reaper. Let's go. It's gonna be a 2-Rax Reaper opener here out of Clem. 2-Rax Reaper initially. Of course, this is not an all-in, but this is a way to get some pressure down early on, to apply pressure to contain the Zerg player, to deny the economy, and to get a handle of the early game as Reapers are on the way. Basically, the goal here is to deny the third. Deny the third base, delay the third for as long as we can, potentially get some economic damage done, but more than anything, just contain the Zerg on 2 bases. As Reapers are moving out. Reapers are moving out across the map. Rogue did open up with his hatch gas pool. Lings are on the way. Overlord does confirm. And Rogue did not pull out a gas early on, which means we already have Link speed in production. Not bad. But we're contained. And again, that's all we did want. Third base yet to be thrown down. Ooh, first Link falls. Additional Reapers making their way across the map. And Rogue, he will hide that drone. Reapers fan out. They check, they confirm that there is no third base taken, but Rogue did successfully hide the drone. Now he can go back in. Cannon, he will dip back in. Third base on the way. Clem did cut Reaper production at 3, and if he doesn't scout this third, he won't be able to force a cancel. And dances with the queens instead. So far, Rogue, he's holding his own. And Clem, yeah, he's going to scout this a little bit too late. Does confirm the hatchery. And so far, a very nice defense here out of Rogue. He was able to hide the drone, get his base. If he didn't hide the drone, he would be stuck on 2 bases. He would still be stuck on a 2-base setup. So very important that he was able to hide it. As the Reapers are forced out, Link speed kicks in. We can catch the Reapers. We can try. We do try to cut them off here towards the left-hand side. It looks like we will get us around. We get 1 Reaper. We're going to get 2. We're going to get 3. All the Reapers do fall. Very nice cleanup here out of Rogue. Papi, calm down. He gets his third much earlier than he should have. He's also able to clean up all the Reapers. Very nice defense here by Rogue. Very nice response against the 2-Rax Reaper. Now, we're not done. Behind this, it is going to be a 3cc 2-1-1. We have the third CC before the starport, before the factory. So the third CC is finishing up, very economic variation. And we're working towards a stim timing. Basically 16 Marine, stim, and 2 medevacs is what we're building up towards. And how does Rogue respond? Roaches. This is a very common response if we are up against a 2-Rax Reaper. The reason for this is because roaches are very larva efficient. We are lacking larva, we're lacking production, lacking economy because of the late third. So because we have limited larvae available, roaches can help make up for that. Again, they don't scale amazingly into the mid game, but they're a nice defensive option here for Rogue. As again, you need a lot of larvae if you want to make Ling Bane work. So for now, we're just settling in. Again, Clem looking to eventually take his third base, but more importantly move out with that double drop. And here we go, we are moving out. Remember, Stim is done. We're moving out with slightly less than 16 Marines, but moving out nonetheless. The Overlord will confirm this. And Rogue has time to respond. He pulls his queens together. Roaches are amassing as we speak. And with the help of Roaches, as long as we're in position, Rogue should be fine. He should be able to defend against this. The double drop has arrived. Catch an Overlord. Catch an Overlord dropping into the main. And we're going to be able to get a second Overlord as well. Not bad. Can we get a third? Oh, not quite. Not quite. Clem does have the back off. The queens are in position. The flanking queens! We shut down one medevac, and can we get the other? Oh, at last it was the empty medevac that did go down. Queen does fall. And a really awkward engagement here out of Rogue. Bleeds out a second queen. Oof. Takes down the medevac though. Not a bad cleanup. We're going to be able to replace those queens, thankfully. How many queens are we on? Ooh, only 4 queens, but would you clean it up? Would you hold? And behind this, Clem is stabilizing and saturating his third. Likewise, Rogue taking up towards an infestation bit and a 4th base. We're getting ready for Hive Tech. Rogue stabilizing and settling into Ling Roach Ravager. Knocking down those rocks. Baneliness is on the way. Should be getting ready for Ling Bane, Roach Ravager. That is, we're not going for range upgrades, we're going for melee instead. That tells us as well that Rogue most likely isn't working towards Hydras and Lurkers. Once the Hive is done, it looks like it's going to be Ling Roach Ravager or Ling Bane Roach Ravager into Ultras. Ultras would fare a little bit better just because of the melee-based upgrades. If we had range on the way, then it can, of course, kind of lean more into Hydra and Lurker tech. But we'll see, as the Hive is on the way. Meanwhile, back at home, Clem getting a 4th, stabilizing, building up his tank counts, working towards 2-2. 1-1 upgrades are done. We do have our 1-1 upgrades. You see Rogue, he's posturing, but he's not really intending to dive in. Doesn't really have enough of that. Just looking to poke forward and keep tabs on Clem. And yeah, he just backs off. we just back on off, hoping to force an overreaction. Second factory is on the way. Hive is about to finish. And we're waiting for that Ultra Cavern. As Rogue is still just building up. We got Banelings now on the way. Taking a 5th. The creep is honestly looking very nice here for Rogue. Spreading between the left and right hand side. Looking solid. Rogue has plenty of vision and map control. No bailing speed yet, so engaging is going to be awkward. And there's that Ultra Cavern that we spoke about. Is on the way. Vipers as well. But yeah, we have seen a lot of this Ling Bane Roach Ravager into Ultra recently. As of late. I've seen a lot of it. So do see Clem going for a Doom Drop. Rogue trying to keep up. Doom Boost in. The Biles! Oh my god. Very nice Biles out of Rogue. Zones away the drop. Papi. Calm down. Quick reactions here from our Zerg player. Clem taking the 4th. Is expanding, is spotted by the Ling. By Rogue. There's Kindness Plating on the way. Now, even though we have the Ultra Cavern again, we shouldn't be making any Ultras yet until we get our upgrades up and running. Whether it's Kindness Plating, Ultra Speed as well. We have the tech, but it takes a while to really get going. Till then, just purely Ling Bane Roach Ravager. Vipers coming in for the abduction, for the Parasitic Bombs. Again, these Vipers are what we have to rely on for anti-air, because we don't have any like Hydras. There are a lack of Queens. No Mutas, no Corruptors. Metax getting very low. But the Vipers will zone away the drops and deter drop play in general, which is the biggest weak point of Rogue's army, is the lack of anti-air. Meanwhile, we're collapsing in. Files, they're going for the CC. Bailings, they get some okay connections. And more Bailings rolling in. And we're going for the mineral line. Ooh, we crash into the tank. Not the best trade here from Rogue. He does deny the base, but he has to retreat, has to back off. At the same time, he took down the planetary. And that was worth it. The base did fall. Clem, down to 3 bases, is double expanding. We'll be able to rebuild. We're getting there. CCs are on the way. Now, even though Rogue bled out a lot of Link Bane, and that was a lot of Link Bane going down, we can rebuild. We can replace it. We have map control. We have so much creep to work with. Rogue is still looking quite comfortable. And we are looking to hit that forward, that northern base once again. Bailings won't connect. Tank shots go up. Ling's trading okay against the fire, but we do have to retreat. Once again, we do deny mining. 8 SCVs go down. But I'm sure Rogue was hoping to reset the tank counts, and the tank count stands strong. Yeah, that wasn't the best trade from Rogue. Now getting into Ultras. Ultras have revealed themselves. We have both upgrades. Do we have any Vipers left? We do. Thankfully. Do you have our Vipers? We coming to reinforce. Rogue rotating over towards the left-hand side. We have Ultras towards the right. We are pushing in. Going for the power bombs. Catching a medevac. Getting a tank as well. Bailings rolling forward at the same time. Ultras, oh, they're not going to gain too much ground here. I say that, yeah, Ultras are falling one after the other. Ugh, extensive losses for Rogue. At the same time, doesn't get into the natural either. He does trade with the army, though. Cost him 4 Ultras and 40 Lings, but he got 3 tanks, a Ghost, Marines. It was okay. Like, we're throwing away a lot here. We're going for the tanks. Let's go. Finally, tanks are falling. Lings can do what Ultras can't, unironically. 4 tanks go down, a Ghost as well. A much more efficient trade here by Rogue. Making up for the dead Ultras earlier. Does make up for it. And now suddenly this position is compromised. We once had 4 tanks, now we have 1. And Rogue, he's pushing in. And I don't think Clem has enough. Not anymore. Yeah, we go for the dive. There's 1 tank in the back line. Bailings are rolling in. We get the Blinding Cloud as well. We go for the tank. The tank falls. And Clem is struggling here. He pulls back to the safety of his 3rd base. Last, he has to give up on the planetary. The Bailings roll in. They crash on 4. GG gets called, and Rogue takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Very nice early game here out of Rogue. Remember, as a reminder, winding it all the way back here, it was a 2-Rax Reaper opener out of Clem, and Rogue, he was able to get his 3rd base pretty nicely timed. Wasn't delayed for too long, as he was able to hide the drone and get his 3rd up and running. Likewise, he got a surround on the Reapers, and on top of that, the follow-up 2-on-1 timing, the drop play, was shut down as well. So, yeah, just a really nice early game. Allowed Rogue to stabilize, spread his creep, drone up to 80, get into Hive Tech, into Ultras. Just a very comfortable game there out of Rogue after, you know, having a solid early game. GG, very well done. Very well played here. And I'm impressed. I am impressed. But at the same time, this was also Clem putting himself out there with his opener, with his build of choice. I'm curious how Clem will adapt and how he will adjust coming into Game 2. I don't expect another 2-Rax Reaper. I don't expect that coming into our next game. I guess it depends on the map. Curious. Where are we loading in? Game 2 is going to be on Amphion. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Amphion, of course, being a much more unorthodox map in the map pool, has a very defendable triangular 3rd base that can be very difficult to punish. Because of that, we've seen a lot of Zerg players attempt Mutaplay. We've seen a lot of Zerg players attempt mutas here against Terran with mixed success, very mixed success with mutas, just because like there's so much terrain that's so awkward to work around. There's so many brutal tank positions that can work quite favorably for the Terran. So we shall see. We shall see how Rogue approaches this map. Likewise, how Clem approaches it as well. So again, it's quite defendable here. Is Rogue crazy enough to try to go into something crazy like Swarm Host? Maybe Nidus play? Something more active? Or even something more aggressive? We go. Zero Space is also fun, at least. I'm glad you enjoy it. Glad you enjoy it. I haven't touched any of the other RTSs yet. Haven't touched them. Okay. That's not how you spell it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the anonymous tip, the donation. Thank you so much for the $13.37 for the elite donation. Go, Pappy. It's like this. Hold on. You're an animal. We even have an emote for it, Pappy. Ay. I appreciate it, though. I appreciate it. Gracias. Thank you for the donation. Always do appreciate it. So we are settling in. Looks like Clem asked for a break. Did ask for a moment. Did ask for a break, so we're more than happy to indulge. To give Clem the time he needs. Here we go. Looks like Clem has returned, and we're getting into our next game. Getting into game number 2. Again, Rogue has a lead, and it wasn't like Clem was playing poorly in that game at all. Not at all. But again, Rogue able to keep up with the early game, able to keep up with the initial opener, with the follow-up aggression. Really impressive stuff there out of Rogue in game 1. But now we're getting into game number 2. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Amphion, we have our French Terran player, the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the red Zerg representing Team Falcons. Leading the series 1-0, it is Rogue. And coming into this, I was favoring Clem, 100%. I was favoring Clem coming into the series. I still favor Clem, but I'm very excited and very impressed by game 1 from Rogue. Very impressed. And we'll see if he can keep it up. We'll see if he can continue to go toe-to-toe with Clem, especially with a much more standard opener. That's what I'm curious about. Clem opening up this time with a Rax expand. Rax here at the Reaper cliff. The reason for this is because the Reaper goes and zooms across the map very quickly, right through the center. Meanwhile, Rogue going for a hatch gas pool. We have seen Zerg players attempt to go pool first on this map just because they know that the Reaper is going through the center, so Lings could skirt around the right-hand side, get across the map, and get some economic damage done. But Rogue is just going for a standard opener. He is going for a standard opener. Reaper's on the way. Reaper is on the way. So again, just going to be the racked expands. It's going to be on Rogue to keep up with the Reaper aggression of his opponents, and eventually take his own third, as we're easing our way into game 2. And when it comes to the features of this map, we spoke about the triangular third. Specifically, I'm referring to this base here. If you can mine through these mineral patches, this base is so secure. You have to knock down rocks to gain access. You have to mine through your own minerals as well. It does have the high ground advantage. Oh, ooh, as the gas geyser is denied, one drone goes down. Very nice pick up here from Clem. Very nicely done. But he gets surrounded. Oh my god. Suddenly not quite worth it here. Clem, sure, he got a drone, but he got a little bit too greedy. He got surrounded in the end, and Rogue has map control. This also means that Rogue can freely expand, take a third base. I say that Clem is being as annoying as possible, is in position to delay that third. He is in position. Lings move out. There is one Marine to defend. We have Mod Marine, the boys, after you pulled away, we deny mining here at the natural. We're going straight for the main. It's all about the worker micro. Can Clem minimize SCV losses? So far, so good. We zoned the Lings away. Third CC has been scouted. There's a third CC before starport. Economic build here at Clem. Road confirms and he backs off. Wise choice as the Hellions about to spawn in. Ooh, looks like we had a bit of latency from one of our casters. Shout out to Saber. Saber, he's a Chinese caster. Does cast in Chinese. Overlord confirms. Interesting. No add-on swap. Okay, it's going to be a 3cc 2-1-1 variation. I imagine going for stim. Okay. Okay. I see you. Very interesting. So this is a very similar build to the game that we just saw in game 1. It's a very similar build to game 1. So it is going to be 3cc 2-1-1. What does this mean? This means working towards a heavier bio count, working towards a stim timing with 2 medevacs. This means 0 Hellions. 0 Hellions here for Clem. So Clem, he's not really vying for map control. I mean, I should say 1 Hellion. 1 Hellion here for Clem. He doesn't really have much map control. He can't really threaten the bases of Rogue. It means that Rogue can be quite greedy. As Rogue did go for an early... Oh my god, he did go for a very early lair for an early Spire. If you remember, leading into this, I spoke about how a lot of Zerg players have been trying to play with Spire tech and mutas on Amphion. The reason for it is because all these rocks and all these, again, really brutal terrain positions, or the terrain itself does lend towards more defensive play. It's harder to be aggressive and be active with Ling Bane, or with a ground army. And we're going for the Spire. The Hellion dives in. No! The Hellion dives in, and we do get eyes on the Spire. We have spotted it, we have seen, we know. Spire has been scouted. One of the big kind of power points. One of the power spikes here of Mutatech is to hide it, to get your mutas hidden, of course, and get across the map, but Clem is now aware. If he clicked on it. It does kind of look like a spore. It could be mistaken for a spore. That does happen sometimes. But Clem should be aware. Here we go, moving out with our double drop. 16 Marines and Stim. And Rogue is investing into those mutas. That means that he's going to be able to shut down the medevacs, but will he have enough on the ground to deal with the bio? What do we have? We have 22 Lings, we have 4 Queens, very low Queen counts. I'm concerned for Rogue. He does miss the drop. And he's droning. Yeah, we stim in. The first Queen falls. We have 3 Queens left. Mutas have a right, but they can't touch this. Yeah, we need the Lings. Very nice target firing at a Clem. He gets 1 muta. He gets 2 mutas. Almost 3. 3. Oh, almost 4 mutas towards the end. Expensive trade there for Rogue. We'll shut this down. And now Clem is getting ready. Turrets are on the way. Third base getting up and running. The bio army staying back home. At least Rogue has map control, and now he can drone up heavily. And he needs to. He needs to drone up as much as possible. Taking it forth may even be worth double expanding. It is a catch a stray Marine. Catching another. 3 more Marines go down. So far, not bad trades. Trades aren't looking too bad. Honestly, we could even try to dive on top of these Marines. Good dive on the bio. You see Rogue trying to bait the army out into the open. But Clem plays it safe. He throws down a depot here. to create a choke point. To reduce surface area, Scan does get eyes on the further attack, or at least on the 2 Evo chambers. The gases. Oh my god. Meanwhile, Rogue is doubling down. He's going mass muta. Mass muta, pa. +1 air attack. Continuing muta production here as much as he can. Trying to keep Clem busy back at home. Rotating around. Wings get caught. Mutas, they go for the production. And they can they take down the reactor? It looks like they barely can. Reactor goes down. We'll delay medevacs. And we've built up towards 17 mutas, and now we're working on the Ling Bane. Bane is amassing. Oh, this dive is not worth it. Oh, we beat out mutas. Imagine get 4 Cs at the same time. Bailing run by gets 17. Okay, let's go. 17 workers go down. A very successful Bailing run by, and Clem, he's moving out. That does mean there's that many less Bailings to defend. But we have 29 Bailings finishing up. Bailing speed has completed. Very nice spread. Rogue has to be very careful. This is a brutal position to push into. As Clem is wedging himself in between the bases, or in between the 4th and the 3rd. Like, the choke points here are brutal, right? Both on the right and left hand side. We've seen many a Zerg player die to tank pushes here. Ling Bane rolls on in. And we do get on top of the Marines. Yeah, the mutas, they shut down the tanks. The final tank barely goes down, but do we have enough Ling Bane left over? The answer is no. Uh-oh. Clem, he's going to keep on pushing. May not have tanks, but has plenty of Marines. And without Bailings, there's nothing to stop the bio. Yeah, it looks like we're snowballing out of control. We shut down the Lings. Not enough Bailings. They're being targeted down. And this is the danger of going into mutas like this, is your ground army is lacking. And without a ground army, how do you stop the Marines? The man with gun is too good. We get into the mineral line. Clem may have lost 17 workers earlier, may not really have an economy, but doesn't need it. Doesn't need it. Not anymore. Nice splits. The hatchery falls. And the Marines, they stand their ground. The mutas, they're doing what they can. They're going to be able to barely clean this up. Oh my god. We barely clean up the army. We can shut down the reinforcements. It did cost us a base and, was it 20 workers? Yeah. It did cost us 18 drones. But we're forcing Clem back. We hold. We do barely hold on. Once again, diving on top of the Marines. Ooh, bit of an overextension. Yeah, we're running out of mutas. As the final tank goes down. The Rogue barely forcing the issue here. But we have too many reinforcements. Yeah, too many Marines. Rogue overextends down to 3 mutas. And as the dust settles, Rogue is on 3-base saturation. Clem, likewise, on 3 bases as well. Clem may be down in workers, but he has mules. And he has a more efficient army. Oh, we catch out the mutas. Expensive losses there for Rogue. Not just that, but Clem, he's got 2-2, is working on 3-3. Like, the upgrades for Clem are insane. Now, can Rogue stabilize? There is a chance. If he can catch the medevacs, then hey, he gets 1. If he can catch out the medevacs, if he can deny the drop play, then there is a chance. There's a little micro potential with these mutas, forcing back the army. Reactor goes down. Throughout all of this, we're droning. Throughout all of this, like Rogue, he's droning up as much as possible. Getting up to 80 workers. Catching up on upgrades, working on 2-2. And if Clem is not able to take a 4th base, if he's not able to expand, if he's just contained here on 3 bases, then Rogue is going to be the first to max out. As Rogue, he's done droning. He's on 80 workers. But Clem is moving out once again. The creep by Rogue is impressive. I pointed this out in game 1 on side Delta, but the creep was crazy from Rogue. And likewise, like, despite the push, and I mean, there's no creep here in the center of the map, but we still somehow managed to get creep across. With very few tumors, by the way. Very few tumors. Mutas, they catch reinforcements, they force out a stim. A few medevacs, every stim does hurt. Once again, Clem is establishing himself here next to the rocks. We saw earlier like how much it takes to break this. The Mutas, they catch marines, they catch reinforcements. Let's go. We do catch the reinforcements, forcing another stim out from Clem again. One medevac for this entire army. The one medevac, he's got a lot of work to do. As reinforcements are cut off. This entire time, Rogue has been building up his Ling Bane. And Rogue, he just has to wait for Clem. He just has to wait for Clem to push onto creep. That's all he has to do. No reason to rush anything. No reason to force the issue. Lings, they go for a run by. They hit the third. Fourth is now being established. It's going in. +1 attack is crazy. Almost got a meter. Not quite. Another medevac! No, okay, we survived. Barely do survive. Medevac does make it out. And Rogue is about to max out. Once he does, then Rogue, yeah, we're collapsing in. We do push forward. Bailing's rolling on in. They force back the Marines. Tanks are going down. And we reset the tank count. Still a brutal trade. Again, just because we're fighting off a creep here and the choke point is brutal. But we reset the tanks. We can back off and do that again. Meanwhile, Clem, rebuilding those tanks is going to take time. It's going to take far longer here for Clem. And we're going for the medevacs. To get one medevac. Fourth base is up and running. This is a big moment for Clem. His economy is on par with that of Rogue. Does have his fourth. Clem has 3-3. Getting into Widow Mines. As I say that, Rogue is going for the planetary. Takes down the first turret. Won't quite get the next. Clem does get here in time. Likewise, he has control of the center of the map. So far, so good. Clem is refining his army with Widow Mines and Thors. Now his army is becoming a lot more like anti-air focused. The mutas are becoming less effective. Yeah, and Clem is catching up in supply. Is catching up. And we still have control of the center of the map. If we had been able to like clear this up and spread creep, then it'd be a different story. I'm not so sure about this. Mine's just gonna be going off, yeah, but the concave is too brutal. Yeah, the concave here was insane. Rogue has to back up. At this point, I don't think we can fight off a creep like that anymore. Even that last fight was questionable. Like, it doesn't feel good, but like we just can't push into this. I feel like that's just gonna kill the Zerg. Some decent bailing connections. Decent connections. We have more links on the way. Ultra Cavern as well. The hatchery. Oh, it's going to be going down. Rogue does collapse in. But these bailings, it's just not efficient. We take down one tank. And Clem has momentum. Yeah, he's pushing in. He knows. That was just such a brutal fight for Rogue. And now we can stim one forward. Rogue desperately trying to morph in more bailings. Mine shot's going to be going up. Yeah, they shut down the Ling Bane. The Bio Army stims one forward. Bailings once again, they try to connect. We do split quite well. We barely clean up the Marines. And the mutas, can they clean up? It's so close. The mutas cannot. The base falls. Okay, reinforcements on the way. Now, because Rogue has this base on the left-hand side, like, he can afford to lose this hatchery. Like, the hatchery doesn't matter too much. He can maintain himself. But he needs time. Rogue desperately needs time right now. Ultras are on the way. Bearing in mind, there are no ghosts. No ghosts. No Marauders, or few Marauders. Rogue needs to expand. As Clem is taking another CC, lifts up the main. Rogue could deny this base though. To get in. Good focus on some of the Marines. Oh, a handful of them. Uses a force back. Yeah, Clem, now that he has his base, he can still maintain himself. The Ultras will clean up the initial army. Oof. Oh, massive mine shots. But the mines will connect. Still a very tense moment, and we catch a full medevac. Okay, looking at the army sizes here, how many Ultras do we have? We have 4 Ultras, soon to be 5. So 5 Ultras, 4 Rogue. Clem, no Ghost Academy, I believe, right? Yeah, no Ghost Academy. No Ghost, no Liberators. He's not quite ready for Ultra Tech. Now, these Ultras aren't going to be ideal. It's going to be 2-3 Ultras, as they do not have +3 melee, but they're going to have all the carapace upgrades. They have kindness plating, no Ultra Speed. So the Ultra's going to have a bit of a harder time off of creep, as Ultra Speed has not been researched. Rogue still not mining through these mineral patches. We need a base! Oh, this Ultra counterattack is questionable. These are expensive losses. We get 1, we get 2 Ultras. Did I say 2? We get 3 Ultras. Ay, ay, ay. Like, Rogue doesn't have any gas. We can't afford this, papi. Three Ultras go down. Again, Clem has got the more efficient army here, even without Ghosts. Again, Ultras, they're quite vulnerable if they're on their own. They need Ling Bane to support themselves, to buffer, essentially, for the Ultras to close the distance. If we don't have that, then, I mean, you see what happens. Ultras melt that. As Rogue does rotate with his entire army this time. We're down to 3 Ultras. Mine Shot's not quite going up. Mine Shot's gonna get baited out. We do try to engage, but nice kiting here from Clem. The Marauders, they hold the line, and Clem, he just shuts down the ground army. Now, ideally, we needed to come in from both angles, but we mainly came in only from one. So just a rough engagement there from Rogue. And it does feel like Clem is just not just out trading him, but yeah, now he's got momentum himself. Well, we can catch the Marines and the tank. Not bad. Tank does go down. You can see the economy was in favor of Rogue, but you can see now it's swinging in favor of Clem. That's thanks to the new base. Catching up some of the fire. One of the saving graces here for Rogue is the lack of medevac, so the bio army is pretty oversimmed. So all it takes is a couple of Ultra swipes. Yeah, Lings, they go for the mineral line. The army does turn back around. The Ultras are on their own. Oh, they get a couple of swipes in. They get 1. Just 1 big swipe. Ultras go down. We do get 18 SCVs. Is that enough? Oh my god. Calm down. As Rogi is expanding on the right-hand side, he's taking another base. Did attempt to expand on the left, but just wasn't able to hold on to that hatchery. Wasn't able to hold on. Clem taking the center base here. Rogue knows he cannot allow this base to get up and running. At the same time, Doom drop into the main. Rogue, no vision, nothing in position. Lings, they're trickling in. Oh. Yeah, rough trade here for Rogue. He will force his back. He can shut down the Medivacs. He can try to shut down the Medivacs. Oh my god. As the Medivacs, they do escape, they do unload. At the same time, Link counter secure across the map. And Clem is pushing through. Oh, we lost so many Links earlier. Rogue losing 2 hatcheries. The most important mining bases here for Rogue. Center base, really. But can he punish this? Can he chase down the Medivacs? He's got 13 mutas. Nah, not quite. Medivacs still escape. Center base is being taken. Rogue has not spotted this. He's not aware. Desperately expanding on the right-hand side. Sorry, on the left-hand side. 10 meter double expands. Widow Mines is still left over. Now, Clem is down to 36 SCVs. That is important. He is muling, but he doesn't have, like, for example, we casted Gumiho earlier. With Gumiho, he had, like, 12 orbitals. Clem doesn't have that same setup. Clem's got 5. He's got 5 orbitals, so his mules are limited. So he has to be careful. Uh-oh, we're cornered. There's no way out of this. Again, we haven't mined through the minerals. Yeah, mutas are racing back over. Okay, Clem doesn't push in. Papi, we need to mine through this. we need an escape route, Papi. Aye. Or even just an easier way to reinforce. Just mine it open. It's hurting you more than it's helping you. The space is really kicking in though. Yeah, you can see now going in favor of Clem. The mules coming in clutch. Another double drop on the right hand side. Rogue is now aware. He's aware of the base. Rogue attempting to expand. Once again, Clem is in position to deny. And no side defense. Rogue does spot this. Does attempt to respond. Units are coming in. They're cutting off the Medivacs at the same time. Main army pushes forward. We have left some Link Bane left over. Some Link Bane to defend. The Ultras as well. Oh, we haven't been using Adrenal? Oh, that's crazy. The Might Shot! Oh no! Oh my god. Calm down. When we had Ultra, I just assumed we had Adrenal, Papi. Aye. That's huge. That's so often we've been relying on pure Link to defend. That would have been so impactful. Aye. And Clem, now he's maxed out. He's maxed out with Ghosts. One of the big features that was missing with Clem's army. And I don't see us pushing this stroke point. Like, this position is brutal. It's a minefield. Even the main force, even without the Widow Mines, we're holding our own. Massive mine connections on the Lings. The army picks up. Yeah, and Rogue, he plummets in supply. And Rogue, he cannot maintain himself. Not anymore. Doesn't have the bank, doesn't have the economy. He's going to break through initially, but we have plenty of reinforcements, and we are looking to make a series out of this. What is left to defend? No Ultras, no Banelings, just purely Lings and Mutas. We can see Rogue going for a counterattack. He knows that he cannot fight head-on. And we'll get some economic damage done. SCVs are going down. Likewise, the base will fall. We do borrow the drones. Let's go. Can Rogue pull this off? Oh, he can't fight the Thor. Oh, he's going for the Thor. We do take some shots to the face. Mutas are going down. Oh. Good, Mutas so valuable. We're down to how many Mutas? Down to 7 Mutas. To get the Thor in the end for the cost of 2. Bio army rotating around, and Clem, oh god, mine shot's going off as well. Clem has a massive supply lead. Hatchery's going down. And scans, he sees lack of saturation. He sees the attempted saturation. And he's rotating over. And he's rotating over to knock down at this base. Likewise, taking top right at the same time. There is a chance. Right now, the army is fragmented, so if we were able to engage in the top right first and focus on the ghosts, then maybe. But Clem is bringing everything together. Pulling together his forces. Muling quite hard once again. Jesus, that's a lot of mules. Lings are amassing. Finally, they're cracklings. It took 27 minutes, but now we have 3 cracklings for Rogue with Adrenal. Something that we were lacking for most of this game. Alright, Lings, they're going for the base. Clem, how does he respond? Does he go for a counterattack or does he come back home to defend? He's coming back home. A really nice moment here for Rogue. Forces the pickup. Does rotate back around, gets into another mineral line. His base is left untouched. Very big moment here for Rogue. And now he rotates over in time to defend against the push. And there are no Widowmines with this. No Widowmines, we have enough Lings. Yeah, we can engage. Oh, here we go. 2 Widowmines do come in to reinforce. 3 Widowmines even. How good are the shots? The friendly fire! Ooh, force a bit of friendly fire. We collapse here on top of the Medivacs. A much better engagement here for Rogue. Going for the surround. Collapsing on the Ghosts. Oh my god. And Rogue, he shuts down most of the main army. Liberators have sieged up. The Freedom is here. We go for the mineral line. No shot. Rogue. Is he doing it, Papi? We're getting down. We're getting dirty. And Rogue, he likes it. 12 SCV kills. We're down to 9 workers remaining. We're muling our hearts out. We caught the Ghosts. Oh my god. Again, finally, the Lings are useful. They have comparable upgrades. Same time, Ling counterattack. We're done with the Ultras. The Ling's even burrowing here, which I'm not too sure if we've noticed. Uh-oh. Leave that back in. Force friendly fire. Liberators have arrived. That's gonna be a big factor here. We have limited anti-air. We really only have our mutas. Wouldn't mind to set up. Oh, some pretty good mine shots. Yeah, the mutas, they have to. They're gonna be engaging. And mutas, can they deal with these libs? We clean up the ground army at least. The queens are coming in to reinforce. Yeah, we shut down the liberators. They do fall. The queen helps out as well. There's 1 lib left. We deny mining. You can see here we're out of money. We're out of money here at the center base. Center left. The center bases are still important though. We're still able to mine. Still some economy here for Clem. But for the first time in a long time, Rogue is up in supply. Like, up in army supply, more importantly. He's crazy. Oh, speaking of massive mine connections. Yeah, I mean, now Clem is getting back into Widow Mines, and Rogue has to respect that. Takes a big connection to the face. Top right is denied. Still muling. Still maintaining. Rogue has gold minerals. You know, one of these days we're gonna mine through this wall, right? One day. One day. Just so we can expand. And take some of these bases. These are 2 fresh bases, by the way. They're untouched for the most part. Likewise, so is top right. Like, this base hasn't really been mined from either. So we're running out of resources in a sense, but I mean, there's potential for mining. It's maybe a better way of putting it. Still plenty of resources on the map. Plenty of resources. Clem once again looking to deny the hatchery. Scan top right. Attempting to rebuild. It's gone back into mutas. Now up to 13. Uh-oh. Ooh, take a mine shot to the face. Down to 12. Not worth it for Rogue. Clem stabilizing once again. I do appreciate that he's investing into liberators like this. Like, our gas income for Rogue is so limited that we don't actually have that many mutas. So getting to liberators, now getting back into ghost production, into widow mines. mining is continuing. Yeah, Clem, he was down to 9 SCVs, now he's back up to 26, plus mules. Like, Rogue's army is so fragile, but also has so much potential. Like, there's so much DPS here, and oof. All it takes is 2-3 mine shots, and Rogue can lose the fight and lose the game. Likewise, if he avoids the mine shots, if he's able to even drag mine shots and do some friendly fire, then we can win it. Nice on burrow there out of Clem. Mine shot still goes off. Clem taking the center base. Uh-oh. Very important base here for Clem. Can he get it up and running? That guy's meters dipping between the bases. Catching a handful of units here and there, but we cannot allow this base to get up and running here. More so because it's a hybrid base with gold patches. Do you find the Liberators? Oof. Mine shot goes off, takes down an Overseer. Takes down a Muta. The Liberator count was reset. Those are the only Liberators on the map. So no more Libs. But we have plenty of Ghosts. Just like last time, we're hoping to catch the Ghosts overextending. Oh god, the mine shots! Oh, big mine shots going off. Yeah, much more efficient trade here for Clem. That was 33 lings. And Rogue, he's rotating over. Again, he knows how important it is to shut this down. I just don't know if he can. It's coming from behind. The mine! Oh, gets baited out. Yeah, we come in for the surround. There's no way out of this. We catch the army, and we're gonna collapse on. We're gonna collapse on in. Yeah, the bio army does crumble. The ghost did survive, but I spoke too soon. We're looking to catch the ghosts. We get a surround. Every ghost goes down, and we've done it. GG gets called. Rogue takes game number 2. Oh my god. GG. Bappy. GG, well played. Rogue does take a 2-0 lead in the best of 5 finals. My god, that was a very, very clutch game. There were moments for both players. There were moments where Rogue was overextending, Clem was overextending. Very, very tense there between Clem and Rogue. It was 35 minutes long, but it felt so intense the entire time. I could have gone either way. GG, well played. Oh my god. Rogue taking lead is insane. I mean, again, coming into this, I favored Rogue 100%. I was, you know, in my mind, I was like, yeah, maybe Rogue can take a game. Sorry, I meant to say, I favored Clem 100%. In my mind, I was thinking, you know, maybe Rogue can take a game. Maybe a game. Maybe make a series out of it. That'd be great. But he's leading 2-0. That's crazy. Like, Clem, and Clem hasn't been playing poorly. Clem has not been playing, like, he's been playing really well. He's not been playing poorly at all. Again, we saw like the brutal positioning in the center of the map. We saw Clem trading incredibly efficiently as well. But both in game 1 and game 2, there were a couple of things that were excelling for Rogue, which was interesting to take note of. One were his counterattacks, his Ling counterattacks, his Ling Bane run-bys as well. We saw a lot of that in game 1. We saw it here in game 2. His Muta harass, again, like, there were so many moments where Rogue had so little to work with, but he was able to drag the army back home, able to counterattack and distract Clem and get some damage done and buy time. It's his harass, and it's also his creep spread as well. Like, both coming into play, both excelling, both in game 1 and game 2. Having so much map vision, map control with the creep, and likewise able to punish Clem's move outs. Those are things that have been standing out to me at least, and it's been carrying him throughout the series. It's impressive. And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our French Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Liquid down in this series. I was, again, not expecting this scenario here, but one more loss and he's out. He has to fight back here and now. He has to fight back. Can we force a series and force an ace match out of this? Personally, I hope so. I want to get all 5 games out of this. He is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player. The blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. Leading the series 2-0. One more game is all he needs to take the series and take the best of 5 and become our champion. It is Rogue. Oh my god. And I also don't want to take away from Clem because both Game 1 and Game 2 were... I mean, I feel like Game 1 was more comfortable for Rogue. I will say that. Game 1 was a lot more comfortable, a lot more... Like, Rogue was a lot more in control in Game 1. But Game 2 was very scrappy. And I feel like any other Zerg player, like, give us Dark, give us Solar, give us Raynor, and I feel like they would have fallen then and there. Where are we headed? Okay, we're a little bit paranoid. Okay, calm down. But most of the top tier Zerg players, I feel like would have fallen then and there to Clem on Amphion. Like that was wild what Rogue pulled off. I'm not naming Cyril, of course. I would say, I would put him definitely a tier above. But yeah, Rogue looked very impressive in that second game. To be able to survive that and make a game out of it in such a way. And now we're settling into Game 3. Is going to be Hatch. Interpool into Hatch. Okay, you have my attention. You don't often see this on Oceanborn. We've seen this on Golden Aura, and we've seen this on Post-Youth. What I'm referring to, Gasless. This is a gases build out of Rogue. Very fast third hatchery because we have not spent money on the gases, and we prioritize mineral income instead. So very greedy build here out of Rogue. We'll see if we can get away with it. I'm a little bit concerned, but we'll see. I'm not convinced, but I'm ready to be convinced. The reason why we see gasless openers on Golden Aura and on Post-Youth is because the bases are closer together and easier to defend with purely Ling Queen, Slowlings and Queens, mainly Queen really. That's kind of the scenario and the criteria that you need to get away with this kind of build. To go for this on Oceanborn is quite bold, and the Reaper does confirm the hatchery was early enough to tell Clem of the opener, and behind this we respond with a third CC before Starport. So economic follow-up here at a Clem, and we'll see if Clem can punish Rogue. So the way to punish this, as you can imagine, without link speed, is Hellions. Like Hellion dives and Hellion movement, it's so important for Rogue to keep up with it. To spread out his overlords, to keep vision on the Hellions. If he's ever out of position, then we can just dive into a mineral line and just barbecue everything. Again, with Slowlings, we're not going to be able to keep up. So the Queen movement and the Queen positioning is going to be so important. Yep, Roach Warden as a follow-up. Because link speed is so delayed, we're just going straight into Roach play from here. Meanwhile, interesting move out of Clem. He is not embracing Hellion, he's going for a different route. He's going for Cyclones. Now, with these Cyclones, the goal is to hunt down Overlords initially. We're going to be hunting down these Overlords, then applying pressure, pushing forward on top of the Queens. Bearing in mind that we have limited capacity to support the Queens, as these Lings can't do too much against Cyclones. Which I'm sure is why this is our response for Clem. Going for the Overlord. Queens do force the Cyclones back, at least for now. And you can see that Clem is under no real danger of losing these Cyclones. Like, we're just really getting damage done. Going for the Overlord, and oh my god, we barely don't get it. Barely does survive. And can we get a Queen? We can! One Queen goes down, already worth it here for Clem, and now we're snowballing out of control. Here comes a third and a fourth Cyclone. We were struggling with 2, now we have 4. And lock-ons are brutal. The Queens are so low, we do get a transfuse off. Again, no link speed inside. Another Queen goes down. And you can see how much you can punish a Zerg player for skipping link speed like this. So again, a very nice response by Clem. He takes down 14 Lings and 2 Queens. Did I say 2 Queens? 3 Queens! Again, these are brutal losses. This does impact not just the crease threat, but also the production, the injects here of Rogue. And behind this, we're building up towards that third CC. It's being taken as we speak. Getting into bio play. Stim is almost done. Getting into our drops, into our metamax, into 1-1 upgrades. So just a very nice start here from Clem. And now we do have link speed, and Rogue, he's committed. We're cutting workers. This makes sense. Rogue lost so much, we have to go for the all-in. We're going for the all-in. We're doubling down with Lings and Ravagers. And can we surround this army? Stim isn't done. We're 3 seconds away. 3, 2, 1. Stim now completes with Lings. They get us around, and Clem, he gets caught out. The all-in has arrived. The army, it's solo. Medivacs, they come in to support. They do lift up and they evacuate the Marines, but here come the Roaches. Here come the Ravagers looking to knock down that front door. No tanks whatsoever. No factor-based units. And we can break through. Yeah, the Biles, they connect. They shut down the depot. Bunkers are on the way. Clem is in trouble. Yeah, as we're flooding 30 Lings across the map. Clem was punishing Rogue, but he didn't scout. He didn't check the saturation. And he forced the all-in. He made Rogue do this. You made this happen. This is probably what Rogue is screaming at him. And Clem was not quite ready for this. E-Ways are going down one after the other. Tank has arrived. And we do have control of the high ground, but we deny 1-1. When we can keep pushing. We can and we will. Once again, we shut down so many Marines, that tank will fall. And Rogue, he's looking to take the series. GG gets called. Rogue takes the 3-0 and is this week's KungFu Cup champion. GG. Oh my god. He's crazy. GG, well played. We saw more macro play out of Rogue in Game 1 and Game 2. Game 1 was much more standard and very macro oriented out of Rogue. Game 2, we rushed into Muta play, was very scrappy, was back and forth. Here in Game 3, Rogue opened up very greedily. It was a gasless opener. Clem identified it. Clem punished it quite well. I mean, again, Clem was doing very well early on with his initial Cyclone aggression. He did punish it, was killing queens, was killing Lings, and because of how much damage he dealt, Rogue made the decision to go for the all-in. He just went straight for the all-in, went for a Ling Ravager all-in, and even though Clem dealt a lot of damage, he did not confirm what was happening, and he was caught out. He was caught out with his pants down. He was not ready for the all-in, and Rogue takes it. Congratulations. Congratulations. I'm a little bit in shock, not gonna lie. I'm in shock and I'm impressed. I'm very impressed here. I mean, again, Rogue has only been back for 2 months, right? He's been back for 2 months, maybe 2.5 months. Has not been back for long at all, and yeah, to make a run like this, bearing in mind, Rogue, he took down Skillers, he took down Solar. I mean, Rogue, he's been looking really good in ZvZ. Ever since his return, ZvZ has, I mean, because ZvZ has changed the least over the years, it makes sense. But Rogue has been looking very impressive in the ZvZ matchup. Took down Skillers, took down Clem. These are not easy players. Like, Clem, he's the best Terran in Europe. Skillers, he's top 3 Protoss in Europe. Solar, he's like top 2 Zerg in Korea. Very impressive. Very impressive stuff here. GG, well played. Now, is this the return of Rogue? I would say this is a strong indication. Rogue has been winning a lot of games. Like, he's been taking series off of Bjorn. He's been taking series off of Solar. Like, here and there, like in ESL Open Cups, right? Like, in ESL Open Cups, he's been taking series. But he hasn't won any of these weeklies until now. Like, this is his first big win since his return, I believe. I may have, like, missed a weekly here or there, but, like, this is pretty significant. And is this a sign of things to come? Is this a one-off, right? Like, was Rogue feeling on fire and all the Europeans hung over like a week after Home Story Cup? Like, maybe. But Rogue has my attention at least, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of Rogue in next week's KungFu Cup. Looking forward to seeing him in the next week's ESL Open Cups as well. We'll see if, again, this is going to become a trend, or if this is kind of like Rogue peaking tonight, and then he goes back down a little bit, and then he peaks again like in 2 or 3 weeks. Like, it's about consistency here, and whether or not Rogue has that yet. I think it's too early to tell. But it bodes well. For returning players like Rogue, like Trap as well. It's exciting. It's always exciting to see the hierarchy of the top players kind of shift and change. It isn't really something that's happened in quite some time. I feel like when it comes to the top Koreans, it's been like Maru, Dark, and Hero for quite some time now. With Classic, with like just behind them, you have like Classic and Bjorn and Cure. So yeah, really cool to see Rogue shake things up here and threaten that hierarchy in a way. It's cool to see. We will have to see Cell versus Rogue in post-military. I want to see... What do I want to see? I want to see Rogue versus Hero. I want to see Rogue in ZVP against some of these more aggressive Protoss players. I want to see him against Hero. I want to see him against Max Packs. I want to see him against Showtime. Right? Didn't Rogue he missed Showtime, right? Yeah. Rogue, he didn't hit Showtime in this bracket. I want to see him against some more robust Protoss players. That'd be really cool. When it comes to Terran, I mean, you don't get much better than Clem, like. But there are other styles out there, definitely. But I'm very curious to see how Rogue compares and how he competes against some of the other top Protosses. But GG, well played, very well played. Congratulations to Rogue. My condolences to Clem, but hey, top 2 is still amazing. Like, Clem, he still had a very nice run. And Clem still had a really good performance. As a reminder, Clem, he popped off in TVP tonight. He took down Nightmare, Classic, and Lemon. So really impressive stuff there out of Clem, really showing off his TVP prowess. And yeah, and again in these finals, Clem didn't look bad whatsoever. He didn't look like he was playing horribly or anything like that, which is what makes Rogue look impressive. But with that, GG. Rogue versus Eva, let's go. True. Yes, Rogue versus more Protoss like Eva. True. GG, well played. Rogue knows Kung Fu, it seems. True. He knows Kung Fu. Neo confirmed. And with that, we're done for the night. With that, we are going to be wrapping things up. We are done for the evening. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. It was a bit of a longer broadcast. It was, how many? 5.5 hours. Jesus. Oh my God. And we're going to be back tomorrow. In less than 24 hours, we're going to be returning here on the channel with World Team League. WTL is usually Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's usually World Team League. But this week, we're moving the Saturday slot back a day. So it's going to be Thursday, Friday, and Sunday instead. So no WTL on Saturday, instead tomorrow. So if you want to tune in to World Team League, we got you covered tomorrow in less than 24 hours. Do tune in for that. Otherwise, thank you so much. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. !socials in the chat. !socials. We got you covered. You can follow us on all the social medias. Likewise, you can follow us on YouTube. We are streaming both on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So you can follow us there if you wish. Our VODs are available on YouTube immediately. Under the live tab, they're all there. They're all on YouTube. Likewise, they're also on Twitch. But people don't really watch VODs on Twitch, so we got you covered on YouTube. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. We appreciate all the subscribers that we got today as well. Thank you. Thank you so much for the subscribers that we got. We do appreciate it so much. Thank you. And with that, we're done. With that, we are done for the day. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao. Ciao. See you next time.